I think for the first time ever, Aemond Targaryen has actually experienced fear. Flee Vhagar. Those are two words that I never thought I'd hear come out of Aemond's mouth. And it happened in this episode called the Red Sowing. Now, let's put things into perspective. At the end of last week's episode, Seasmoke chose Addam of Hull. So Rhaenyra confronts Addam in Driftmark with a lot of uncertainty. I mean, look, somebody claiming a dragon is unheard of, somebody that's not of Targaryen royal dragon blood. But what I respect about Addam is that's all he ever wanted. He just wanted to be accepted and, mean something. And by him claiming, Seasmoke claiming him, he enters the fray. Rhaenyra immediately takes a liking towards Addam, but it's a little bit puzzling. Now, we all know that Valyrian blood runs through Addam's veins. Now, who the father is, I don't know if it's Corlys or Laenor. There's still a lot of uncertainty about that, but he's from old Valyrian blood. Interesting. Now, with Seasmoke finally claiming a dragon rider, Rhaenyra has this brilliant idea of, let's just do this on a larger scale. Still very risky. She sends out word to King's Landing. We need bastards of Targaryen blood to show up at Dragonstone. Somebody needs to claim more dragons. Now, in doing so, her son gets alienated as well because he's not dumb. He knows that he himself is a bastard as well. Now, with his mother doing this, he kind of feels like, I'm being pushed one side. I lose a little bit of the spark that I had of being a bastard, but having a dragon as well. She's already made up her mind. She can't turn back now. Now, everybody of supposed dragon blood descends on Dragonstone. Now, since episode 1, they've teased two characters. Ulf, the guy who's been drinking every episode in a bar, that has proclaimed that he is of Targaryen blood. And then we also have Hugh. Now, Hugh, we've seen his daughter being sick and the struggles he had to go through. And in this episode, it's actually very sad, but his daughter has lost her life. So he feels like he needs to do something substantial. So he's also on his way to Dragonstone. Now, last week's episode, I talked about Vermithor. Now, Vermithor is the Bronze Fury, which Rhaenyra, actually in the episode, she says that he is the second largest dragon in the land after Vhagar. But he might actually be more fierce, because he's younger. Vermithor is about 100 years old and Vhagar is at 180. And look, Vhagar has a lot of battle scars because, she comes out of Aegon's conquest. Now, with that said, somebody needs to step up to the plate and claim Vermithor in a brilliant sequence. This is one of the show's best sequences so far. And it's just incredible to see Vermithor, the size and the scale. And finally, Hugh is the one who steps up, He's like, let me take this chance because everybody's basically getting deep fried, Vermithor, while he trusts Rhaenyra, he doesn't know the others. So things go a bit sideways, if I can say that. But then Hugh steps up to the plate. And that is a win for Team Black. Vermithor, brilliant. But remember, Vermithor is not battle tested like Vhagar. With that said, Ulf, he runs himself. The dude is scared. He runs around in the caves and he almost makes a mess. He stumbles on a bunch of eggs. Now, Vermithor has a partner, Silverwing. So he steps into Vermithor's partner's lair, Silverwing, and she's actually a nice dragon, I thought she would have reacted differently. Somebody almost stepping on one of your eggs and Just like that, going from drinking every day in the bar to having your own dragon. So this is how it looks, guys. Seasmoke has been claimed by Addam of Hull. Vermithor, Hugh, who will be known as Hugh the Hammer. I don't even want to go there, guys. Things are gonna, yes. And then you have Oath, who claims Silverwing. So Team Black is looking very strong right now, and that's what actually happens. You know, Oath flies to King's Landing. Everybody loses their minds. And, you know, Aemond Targaryen runs to Vhagar, follows Silverwing all the way to Dragonstone. And when he gets close to Dragonstone, he comes to the realization that, you know what? Let's turn around. We don't stand a chance here. And, I mean, with the size, regardless of the size of Vhagar, going up against 4 or 5 dragons, it's going to get ugly, and I'm sure Aemond realizes that. Now, the significance of Team Black getting the upper hand here is the fact that Aemond will eventually come to the realization that, you know what, this is a battle that has to be calculated. It has to be a chess move. I'm better off fighting this with swords and shields. And that's where things are really going to get interesting, because, you know, you don't just want to unleash the dragons, because the moment you do that, all hell breaks loose. And I think he's come to the realization of that. So, yeah, no, that aspect of this episode is absolutely brilliant. I can see why the show takes so long to be made. I mean, the VFX, guys, this is even better than a big budget blockbuster. I mean, I've seen big blockbusters just flop when it comes to the VFX because it's not that good. This definitely holds up, especially the opening scene, Driftmark at the beach with Seasmoke and Cyrex. That looks stunning. So when it comes to the VFX, guys, this episode has all the ingredients. Emma Darcy in this episode is absolutely incredible as Rhaenyra. Like, I think this might be a best performance in this episode. And then you have the score, the music, VFX, you know. It's a solid episode. And then we still have Daemon Targaryen. Yes, he's still at Harrenhal, still chilling, you know. He's enjoying his life, king consort. But things actually get pretty interesting with that part of the show so far, where Oscar Tully shows up. You know, his grandfather passed away, so he's taken over the reins. And what I like about Oscar is the fact that he asserts himself from the get-go and is serious. So he's like, you know what? I'm not here to play games. I'm a man of the people, and I have to do right by the people of the Riverlands. And he immediately puts Daemon in a situation where he has to rectify his mistake. And it's a tough position. But at the end of the day, Daemon comes to the realization that, you know what? If I don't fix this, if I don't do this the right way, I'll end up losing an army and the respect of the people. So, and then you also have Viserys showing up again, and he basically tells Daemon that the crown is heavy, you know, it's very heavy. Are you sure you want this? Is this what you really want? And it's pretty interesting the fact that Viserys shows up, and it's Viserys in his last days. So this actually means that this section of the show might come to an end, and it's about time. I've always said that this is the weakest part of the show, so I'm glad to see Harrenhal finally going in a direction. Pretty interesting. And then you also have Allicent. You know, she's been fired from a post. Can I say fired? Yes, she's been fired from a post on the council. So she just up and leaves the castle, and she has peace and tranquility in the middle of the forest, and she takes a dive into the lake, you know, peaceful. She is just living a best life. Yes. And then things at King's Landing, Aegon is back on his feet, but screaming nonstop. So he's in actual pain. Larys is still trying to pull the strings, and it's a good episode, solid episode. We didn't have Kristen Cole in this episode. We didn't have, still haven't seen Otto Hightower show up. So it's a straightforward episode, guys. But in terms of scale and scope and VFX, it's one of this season's best episodes. It's incredible episode, and I feel like Team Black is on top. Now, I haven't switched sides because I haven't chosen a side yet. Are you Team Green? Are you Team Black? At the end of the day, I don't want to see the family feud. And if the family feuds, nobody wins. That is ultimately what the direction the show is gonna go in. Nobody wins if the family feuds. And the Dance of the Dragon actually is a pivotal battle in bringing the reign of the dragons to an end, because when we meet Dany, there's only 3 eggs. That's all there is. No dragons. So it's pretty interesting, guys. And this was the penultimate episode. We have one episode next week, which is a feature-length film. And I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but the battle that's on the way, it's going to be insane. It's going to end on a cliffhanger. Best believe it's going to end on a cliffhanger. Another shock to the system. It's going to hit hard. This one is going to hurt. I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm just warning you. But things are going to get crazier. And the lesson that Rhaenyra must learn from all this, it's war. You take risks, but you also have to be aware of the consequences that comes with taking a risk like that. You are allowing people into a war. You are giving them stealth bombers, basically. But how sure are you that they are honorable towards you, that they have allegiance to Team Black? All will be revealed in the future, guys. But another brilliant House of the Dragon episode, the Red Sowing. Please let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think about this episode. I think this episode was fantastic. I can't wait to see how this thing plays out next week. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, guys. That's it from me. I will catch you on the next episode.